Hello, welcome to Warriors Within podcast, where we amplify the voices of sickle cell warriors and their families. I am your host, Coco Chanel, here to guide you through the real, raw, and resilient stories of sickle cell warriors and their everyday journey. I'm here with my wonderful guest, TJ. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so good to have you.
Yes, it's nice to be here.
So, TJ, we are well acquainted with each other. Let's first of all, just tell me a little bit about yourself. We know that you're a photographer. Let me run that back. A bomb photographer.
Oh, thank you.
And you have sickle cell. So explain your journey about being a photographer. What made you come into this?
Okay. So how I got here was honestly sickle cell. I grew up being sick most of my life, and then around the I lost my spleen at 2, gallbladder at 19, and around the age of like my early 20s, I started learning about health and wellness and using it to treat my sickle cell because my health was like really bad. I was like in and out the hospital. I spent more days in the hospital than out the hospital. I missed average of like 90 plus days of school when I was actually attending school, so it was really bad. But I started a nonprofit once I started learning about health and wellness and saw how much it helped me, and I started getting involved in community. And then no one was capturing my events or the story or just the journey the way I wanted to be captured. So I borrowed my friend's camera and started shooting, and then everyone started hitting me up being like, "Who's your photographer? We want to book him." And I'm like, "I'm my photographer." So that's how I kind of really got into shooting, and I got into doing videography now. So I do both. Yeah.
That's amazing. I think that's super amazing. Your work is incredible. So how do you manage because obviously, with sickle cells, ups and downs.
Yeah.
Some days you don't ever know when it's coming. How do you manage living in, obviously we stay in Miami.
Yeah.
It's a big city, with our weather conditions. One day it can be hot, next minute it can be pouring down rain, and you still have to shoot. How do you manage, keeping that studious image, to your clients as well, but also have to keep up yourself as a person?
So I've always been like a self-motivated person, and I didn't really like working for people. So I'm a really hard worker, and it was a huge learning curve because at one point, over and over again, I just kept working myself to sickness, and then I would lose weeks of work, things like that would happen where I'd have something coming up, then I'd get sick and I'd have to send someone else to shoot for me because I'm sick. So I had to learn to pace myself. So for example, now it's the summer, I will not shoot out in the hot sun. You're gonna get me the crack of dawn or on sunset. We're not shooting in the sunlight. If we're shooting in the daytime, it's indoors. I'm not gonna be dehydrated. I don't do really late shoots now. I used to shoot like nightlife and be up till 3, 4 in the morning shooting. I don't do that anymore. So I just, kind of listen to my body, kind of like I always did. But with photography, I had to learn to really pace myself while working.
That's a good way to do it because honestly, photography, you're gonna get to manage your own.
Yeah.
Like you said, get your management. So what is something that going through your journey of sickle cell that you can call one of the most, I guess you can say, triumph or devastating times that really made you want to say I want to make a change for this?
For sickle cell?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an everyday thing, man. Dealing with it every day, especially when I get sick and you go to the ERs and they, you get treated like less than human 90% of the times. You feel lucky. It's like a lottery. You feel lucky when you get treated nice, especially when you go to the ER. It just motivated me to so you can't help other people if you can't help yourself. Yeah. And I had a nonprofit for a really long time and I was doing really well, but I was trying myself out. I was pouring my own money into it. It was very hard to upkeep. So I decided to kind of work for myself, get myself good, and then I'll reintroduce myself back and just get involved in any way I can. So just spreading our story. The most devastating things that happen is just being turned away while I need help. Just feeling like these people don't care if I live or die, and they can't understand my pain. Feeling like we're alone, even though we're all a community. Feeling very alone because there aren't enough resources out there for us. I mean, things are changing now and it's gotten better over time, but there's still really people that are really miseducated with sickle cell, and they're professional healthcare providers. So that's what motivates me to never really give up spreading the word about sickle cell and just being diligent about people learning about it.
Yeah, because I noticed we had a conversation before. You do make awareness by going on panels, and
Yeah.
so elaborate on that, because I think that's pretty cool. Not only do you do photography, you are not just just making people look pretty in front of a camera. You are just educating them behind it and in front of it.
Yeah.
I know you don't probably see it like that, but that's literally what it is. Tell me a little bit more about that. How do you want to keep advocating and making more awareness with photography, with the panels, because that's a good way to keep going about it.
Definitely, we all have a voice and we should spread it. Always tell your story. I feel like these days it's so much easier to get involved with social media and with all the foundations that are out there that are working together for the same cause. Spreading the word via, going on panels, every day, just word of mouth, being out there, telling people about sickle cell, and just getting involved in events. Eventually, I want to be able to be involved in more video production and stuff like that, just telling the story of sickle cell, educating people, spreading the awareness worldwide. And yeah, just like health and wellness too. That's a huge thing for me. I'm plant-based. I'm a huge health freak. So teaching people about health and wellness, making them feel good on the inside and also look good on the outside is very important to me.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, you honestly helped me with a lot of P's and Q's on health and wellness, things I never know. So that's why I said, that's why I love talking to you, because you always give great information and insight. And not only do you help guide, the awareness is there.
Yeah.
Is there something that you will want to see? What is the biggest, what is the biggest change that you would love to see for the sickle cell community?
The biggest change that I'd love to see is already happening, to be honest, is FSCDR and how they're creating these clinics. And some of them now are 24 hours and they're opening up in different locations. That's been my dream since I was a kid, being able to go to a facility that caters specifically to us, that knows us, that knows our journey, knows our story, and, able to take good care of us and, put us back into the world feeling better when we go there feeling sick. So that's one of that's the dream come true. I hate the feeling of being sick and having nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very DIY person, and most of that's something I had to learn too. I would say I'd be at a level 5 pain. I'd still push myself. I'll still go and work.
Like a 10.
Yeah, I'd literally have to not be able to walk.
Oh my goodness.
So and I had to stop that. I had to be I've hit you up a couple of times and be like, listen, I'm not feeling good, So now I learn to pace myself, ask for help, and that makes a difference.
It does. Yeah. Is there something within the sickle cell community that you would want to add, a little spice of pizzazz to? Because
healthy food.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was gonna be it. Because I do agree with you. That's something that with sickle cell you have to understand your health and your wellness part.
It's just like if you have cancer, most people with cancer, they're gonna start watching what they eat. Yeah. If they're receiving good advice, they're gonna do that. I would love to just see more healthier alternatives. I'm not gonna say just to cut out all the stuff that people eat, but just offer more healthier alternative options at all these events and clinics and places like that. Maybe working with, when I was running my foundation, I got sponsored by Whole Foods a couple of times, and I'll give out wellness baskets and host wellness presentations and stuff like that. So you are what you eat, man.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's super important.
Is there a narrative that you would love to change with sickle cell?
Yeah, probably all the bad stigmas that we're drug seekers, that only Black people have it. I've met blonde hair, blue eyes with sickle cell. I've met Spanish people with sickle cell. Mm-hmm. I believe sickle cell is on every continent. It's found on every continent except for Antarctica.
Yeah.
So, that stigma as well. And just the stigma of doctors thinking that we're drug seeking when we go in. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's very devastating.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's very devastating. I feel like people like you and Demetrius, you guys make the biggest change. Little do you know,
Demetrius my dog.
Yeah, you guys make the biggest change within the community, because you have people that look up to you. Mm-hmm. And so let's talk about that. How do you feel about, or let's talk about the awareness that you make to the younger. Mm-hmm. How do you go about making awareness with them? Because honestly, a lot of things that young boys grow up. They don't have that, you know, male example to
Right.
really, but you definitely have set an example with, like I said, you done helped me out a couple times with my own son, and you done gave more than a helpful advice. So how do you like to give back with educating the youthful males of what
I'm not gonna lie. I felt really bad about not being more involved over the past couple years, and that's something I definitely want to change. I want to start maybe creating some type of literature, start spreading more programs, and just educating the youth. The youth are super important. That's something that's very dear to my heart. I have kids of my own, and they're both pretty health savvy. They're, you know, and they're really healthy kids. Like
That's beautiful.
you know, they make me so happy. Like learning about health a lot growing up has made me a better parent because I'm able to pay special attention to my kids' needs health wise and stuff, you know. But yeah, I definitely want to do more and just I want to, like, I feel like I've been ghost. Like someone just saw me back there and they're like, where you been, Duppy? You know? So I definitely want to get back more involved on the scene and just start spreading information like I once did, for sure.
Well, is there, so I guess to like kind of like wrap us up in the sense, where do you want to, I guess, everybody to follow you? Give out your Instagram, if there's anything that you want to make awareness to, or if you want to shout out, obviously FSCDR.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that space open for you.
Shout out to FSCDR, shout out to Shaq's Hope, shout out to Sickle Cell 101. Shout out to Coco. Shout out to the camera crew. Yeah, no. Shout out to everybody with sickle cell out there, all the caregivers that are making a difference. Everyone that came out here today, you know, they could be anywhere in the world, but they're here.
Yeah.
You know, helping us with our voice and our mission. So, you know, I love this. I love seeing this, and I'm here for it.
And where can they follow you on IG? To contact you.
I've been a ghost. So I'm gonna give y'all my page that's kind of decent. It's Mr. For the Picture, MRFOR the picture, and it's mostly photography, but you can hit me up on there. That's where I post and follow a lot of the sickle cell groups and talk to people with sickle cell. So yeah,
that is wonderful. So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude there. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.